This town is famous for the citadel, its church, left beer and the saxophone. Situated in the heart of the Ardennes in the south of Belgium, I'm going to be going around taking some shots. Please let me know what you think and welcome to Dinant. This vibrant town is brilliant for taking photos. I'm here with my Sony a7 III, my 50mm lens and my 85mm Viltrox lens. When I first got to Dinant, I didn't really have a plan. I just wanted to walk around and see what I could get. And straight away, it felt like one of those places where there's something interesting pretty much everywhere you look. You can have moments like this, just everyday life, people passing through, nothing staged. But it still feels worth capturing. Then a few steps later, you'll be looking at something completely different. Like the architecture or the way everything is built into the cliffs. Every small thing did start to stand out. Like a flag moving in the wind or how the light hit the certain buildings. Felt like one of them places you didn't have to force a photo. You just had to pay attention. And I think that's what I enjoyed the most about this first walk. It wasn't about chasing a specific shot. It was just about reacting to what was around me. There was one thing I really didn't plan, but it ended up being one of my favourite parts of this trip. I was shooting the exact same scene at completely different times. The first time I took this photo was in the middle of the day. And don't get me wrong, it's nice. You can see everything clearly, the colours are there, but it feels a bit flat. Like if you showed someone this, they'd probably go, yeah, that's a town, and just move on. But then you come back just after sunset and you're getting a completely different image. The sky has gone a deep blue. The lights have started to turn on and you get these reflections on the water that just add so much atmosphere. It actually starts to feel like something. It adds depth, contrast. It doesn't just feel like a flat image. Then later on at night, I came back and I took this one, which I have to say is probably my favourite. You've got the train going through, all the warm lights, the reflections. It just feels way more alive compared to the middle of the day. And that's the thing. I didn't change composition, location. The only thing that did change was the time of day. I feel like when you're in somewhere as gorgeous as Dinant, you feel this pressure to keep moving, to keep trying to get the better photos. But honestly, the best thing sometimes you can do is just wait. This was one of the first times on the trip where I realised it wasn't about the location. It was about sometimes seeing things at a different angle. But not every photo in Dinant was me waiting for that right light. Some of the most interesting shots were hidden away completely. I'm situated about 45 minutes under the heart of Dinant. I'm going to be exploring these caves and taking as many spooky little photos as I can. So you can see that the size of this cave is absolutely extraordinary. There's plenty in this cave. There's limestone build up. There's cool yellow lighting to get some nice moody looking photos around. I'm going to be making the most of it, getting as many shots as I can, and let me know what you think. I also spent time in the cloche Notre Dame Dinant, which I'm sure I'm absolutely butchering the pronunciation of.
Collégiale Notre-Dame de Dinant.
Collégiale
Notre-Dame de Dinant.
It did feel like a completely different pace in comparison to where I had been so far. It's this huge Gothic church right in the centre of Dinant. And when you stepped inside, it felt completely separate to everything else going on outside. Out there, I was consistently chasing the light, waiting for the right moment, but in here, it was just still. The light coming through glass was really soft. That did mean I had to slow down the pace in comparison to how I had been shooting. It wasn't about big dramatic composition. It's more about small details and shapes and how the light was falling across the space. moments where I stopped trying to force the photos and just kind of reacted to what was already there. And I know these aren't the most obvious photos of the trip, but they actually turned out to be some of my favourites. One of the places I knew I had to shoot whilst I was there is the citadel of Dinant. Probably the most iconic view over the whole town, and once you're up there, you can see why. Everything opens up, the river, the buildings, the cliff, and it gives you that classic view you see in the photos. But at the same time, it was quite challenging to shoot. When everything looks good, it's hard to simplify into one photo. I found myself really having to think about composition, and that includes what to leave out. Going inside the citadel was another complete change. It was dark, enclosed, and once again focusing a lot more on the details than when you're in them big open spaces. Instead of wide shots, I was looking for textures, light coming through small windows, and moments that you'd probably miss if you rushed through it. It was a nice reminder that in one location you can get a complete different array of photos. Just outside of Dinant, I came across this place that felt like it was straight out of a fairy tale. It was one of those scenes where you don't really need to overthink it. You just frame it simply and let the building do the rest of the work. Overall, Dinant ended up being one of the places that really surprised me. Not just because of how it looked, but how differently you can photograph it, depending how you approach it. And it's something I want to do more of. I want to go explore Europe and see what I can capture with a camera. So, if that's something you want to follow along with, please subscribe. I'd also be interested to hear what you think about Dinant itself and the photos from the trip. If there's anywhere else you think I should go next, drop a comment. But yeah, that was Dinant.